5x5 solo game challenge completed. Last week I completed my 5x5 solo game challenge. This was inspired by the yearly Board Game Geek 10x10 challenge, in which BGGers try to play 10 different games 10 times within a calendar year. I've successfully done that challenge the last 2 years, and I'm over halfway done with my 10x10 for 2018. I added a solo challenge this year because I love playing solo board games. I'm glad that publishers have been including more solo rules in their games lately, but I still get funny looks when I tell people I love playing solo games. Some people ask why, as if there's something wrong enjoying a board game by yourself. I get it though. They want the thrill of competition, or the camaraderie that comes with sitting at a table with others. Years ago, my wife and I would occasionally spend an evening working on a jigsaw puzzle. In fact, it was with her that I actually completed my first 1,000-piece puzzle. It was something I'd never tried to do or thought would interest me, but it was a totally satisfying experience. We wouldn't complete the whole thing in a night, but we'd work on it throughout the week, sometimes separately whenever we had a spare moment. Once it was done, we'd start a new one. In a sense, solo board games are like jigsaw puzzles for me. It's just me trying to figure out a way to win or score the most points. There's no pressure to act quickly or watch what others are doing. And if I want to leave midway through a game, that's perfectly fine. I can finish the game the next day or the next week or whenever I feel like it. Other friends who aren't into solo games always mention that they'd rather play video games by themselves instead of a board game. I always respond the same way. Great. If that's your form of entertainment, more power to you. Personally, since I'm on the computer and or checking my phone most of the day, the last thing I want to do to relax is something that requires electronics. No, I prefer analog entertainment to wind down the day. Give me good old cardboard, dice, chits, cards, pawns, etc., and I'll enjoy an hour or two at the tabletop. Here's a quick look at the 5 games I soloed 5 times or more this year. Number 1, Cat Rescue. I liked Tate Wu's cute cat-themed game that he successfully kickstarted this year. It was this neat little puzzle that only required 50 minutes to play. Funny, AEG came out with Cat Lady a few months later, and it reminded me of this game. Number 2, Dice Stars. Thanks to my board game Twitter buddy Odin Fong, I was able to score a copy of this Bruno Catholic dice game. I can knock out a solo game in under 10 minutes, and I love how tough it is. I've only won 4 times out of the 13 games I've soloed. Number 3, Imperial Settlers. I joined my first online solo league, and it was a blast. A bunch of us BGGers signed up for the 4 different base game factions, and we battled it out for a few weeks until one faction was left standing. I joined the Egyptians since that was the faction I had the least amount of experience with, and even though we were the first to be eliminated, I learned a lot. Number 4, Number 9. I borrowed a friend's copy for a week, and my wife and I enjoyed this game a lot. It reminded me of those jigsaw puzzles we'd worked on together all those years ago. It's more dynamic than a standard puzzle though. The tiles are randomly drawn every game, creating a new challenge every time. When my wife and I weren't playing, I'd sneak in solo games that could be finished in about 5 minutes. Number 5, Sagrada. Until Azul came along, Sagrada was the puzzle-style game that everybody was talking about. It's funny how the cult of the new works. Sometimes it seems as if games have a shelf life of a week before something else is all the rage for the next week. While Sagrada did get a lot of love when it first came out, it seemed to lose some of its luster when Azul showed up. I still find this dice roller to be a lot of fun at any player count, and the solo game is hard. I only won once in 8 tries for this challenge, so it looks like I'll be dusting off Sagrada soon to redeem myself.